Let's go through that simple aggregation example I showed you in the first lesson in a detailed way. So if you recall, we started with a products collection and then we did some grouping on that collection to get a results collection that was shown from the aggregation function. Now here is the collection, if you recall. It was this list of products, and the products have a manufacturer and a name and a category, and we wanted to get the number of products by each manufacturer. This was the query over here that we used. We called db.products.aggregate. We put it through, there's only one stage to our aggregation pipeline. It was a dollar group, where we asked to group by manufacturer, and we do that by specifying an underscore ID. And then we were creating a new key called numProducts with the operator $sum. So what logically happens here? All right, so the aggregation framework is going to run through every one of these documents. So the first document it's going to consider is this one. And this document has a manufacturer of Apple. Now if you recall, we're going to create in our results set, we're going to look for a resulting document with an underscore ID of manufacturer, and in this case it's Apple. So as we go through that first document, we're gonna look and we're gonna say, is there one with an underscore ID of Apple? No. Let's create something in my results set called underscore ID Apple, and then it also asks to create a numProducts key. And what does the numProducts key do? Well, it said create a numProducts key in my results set, and I want you to add one sum, run a sum, and add one to whatever's there. There's nothing there to start, and it seeds it at 0, so it'll start it by adding 1. It'll put it right there, 1. So again, as it's running through these products, it's creating a new collection of the results. So the group phase doesn't run the documents from one end to the other. It actually processes each one, grouping it, and then creating a new set of aggregated documents. Let's look at the second document. The second document has a manufacturer of Apple, and again, it would go through and they would say, all right, it's almost like an upsert. It would look and say, is there something with an underscore ID of Apple? Yes, there is. Run that sum on it. It said add 1 to numProducts, so that's going to update the numProducts to 2. And it's going to run to the third document in the collection. The third document collection has a manufacturer of Apple. So remember, we were looking for a document in the results set with an underscore ID of Apple. We do have one. We're going to add 1 again to it. And now we're going to wind up with 3. Now, the fourth document in this products collection has a manufacturer of Samsung. We're going to look for a document in the results set that has an underscore ID of Samsung. We're not going to find one. So we're essentially going to, if you will, upsert it, put something in the results set with Samsung as an underscore ID, and we're going to, again, create a numProducts key, and this was my name. It's arbitrary. And we're going to add 1 to what was there, which is nothing, so we're going to get 1. And so on and so forth as we run through this collection. The next one is a product from Sony. So we're going to look for a document with underscore ID of Sony. We're not going to find one, so we're going to create it, underscore ID of Sony, and then initialize it to be numProducts 1, because of that sum operator again. When we're done, we're going to get a resulting set of documents that's going to run to the next stage of the pipeline. And that set of documents is going to have an underscore ID equal to the manufacturer of each of these products, and numProducts is going to be the number of products that each manufacturer manufactured. You can almost look at this again as an upsert, or I like to think of it as an upsert, because it's creating documents in the results set if they don't already exist. If they do exist, it's just updating them. It's running that aggregation operator against the fields other than underscore ID. All right, so that's the way aggregation works in a detailed way, and they all build on this basic concept of running through the source collection, or the collection is known as a source collection because they may have been other stages of the pipeline, but running through the documents that existed prior to that stage of the pipeline, and then building a new set of documents with an underscore ID as specified. In this case, we called upon $manufacturer to be our underscore ID, and then running the aggregation operators on the other fields that we've created, other keys and values that we've created. Okay, so let's have a quiz. Let's say we have the following collection of stuff, and you can see here it has some documents with A, B, and C specified for each of these documents. And we perform the following aggregation: db.stuff.aggregate, group on underscore ID $C. So how many documents will be in the results set from the aggregate function?